If you're a lover of Irish whiskey, I'm pretty sure that you would have heard of this, the Proper Number 12. If you're a lover of the UFC, I know 100% that you've heard of this. Today I'm going to review the Proper Number 12. Hi guys, so today I'm going to review Proper Number 12, or Proper 12, is or was owned by Conor McGregor. This distillery was opened up by Conor. He wanted to make an Irish whiskey the proper way. The number 12, I think he lived in the District 12 of Dublin, so it dates back to his roots, which is fantastic. And I think he just sold this for, it was something like a $600 million deal, okay? He got the master distiller of Bushmills to come over and make this. Very smart, great branding, great advertising, but is it a good whiskey? It could be, but I just want to read a little bit about the backstory as well. Now on the bottle it says, paying tribute to where it all began, for me, Dublin 12. Our master distiller and I set out with one goal, to create a proper Irish whiskey that is true to Ireland. We are honoured to share the smooth and balanced spirit, a fine blend of golden grain and full flavoured malted barley, triple distilled and aged in a minimum of 3 years in bourbon casks. Proper Number 12 offers hints of vanilla, honey, like sweetness and toasted wood. A proper salute to all. So it is a grain whiskey, which is normally a mixture of what could be either corn, wheat with barley. It is triple distilled, which is pretty standard in Ireland, and aged in ex-bourbon cask for 3 years, which is pretty good, I guess. Let's have a look at the colour here. It's actually really dark for a 3-year-old. I'm not sure if it is, if it has any colouring added to it. Looking at the legs to see the oiliness, it is pretty, it isn't long at all. Sort of tends to just sort of like skim straight down. A little bit of a nose. Okay, so what I can tell straight away off the nose is, I'm not sure how old the bourbon barrels are, but I would presume that they've been used a few times. They wouldn't be first fill. I could be wrong, however, I'm not getting really a lot there. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla, a touch. But if anything, it's kind of not like a vanilla bean sort of nose. It's more like a lanolin sort of vanilla, which is what you get in the wood in a barrel. If anything, kind of like a vanilla extract sort of flavour. Sometimes vanilla extract is made from lanolin, which is what goes in barrels. It's a lot cheaper to make for a vanilla essence or extract. A tiny touch of caramel, but it smells like it's going to be really easy drinking, okay? There's no real burn or anything like that. And I'm being a little bit critical here, okay? So this is not priced at a single malt Irish whiskey. It is a very well priced whiskey for what it is, but I just want to give you my honest opinion. Okay, very easy drinking. Definitely get that vanilla there, a little bit of caramel, a kind of a touch of sweetness. If anything, for me, it's as though it hasn't been aged long enough. So I'm not sure, as I said, what types of barrels, how many times these barrels have been used, but it's just lacking a little bit for me. However, as a mixing Irish whiskey, and I would probably put this in the same category as Jameson, which is a really high volume kind of whiskey that is perfect with mixers, shots, picklebacks. Irish whiskey is really popular with bartenders, especially Jameson. This is definitely up there in that category. But it's kind of not really something that I would sit down and drink neat and enjoy at home, sort of with some friends, and talk a little bit about whiskey. I'm getting a little bit sort of that ethanol-y sort of nail polish remover as I sort of come up to it. And I honestly just think that's something to do with the aging. Overall, what do I think as far as length? There's not really a lot of length there. The flavour's there. I'm getting a little bit of bitterness towards the end. It's a little bit kind of underwhelming, I could say, and that for me is purely because I love Conor McGregor. He's one of my favourite UFC fighters, but I sort of know where he's coming from creating this. It's a brilliant business decision. I would love to see whether these guys will age for a little bit longer as well and see. I think if it was sitting in a barrel a bit longer, it would definitely make a massive difference. Would I go out and buy a bottle? I'm going to be honest, probably not. I bought a bottle because I love Conor McGregor, I love the UFC, and that's probably enough for a lot of people. And I think that from a whiskey snob point of view, it's not something, as I said, that I would go out and sip on, but as far as would it sell well in a bar? Yeah, absolutely. It sure does at all of my bars. Is it good enough to mix with soda? Yeah, absolutely. With Coke, ginger beer, anything else that you want to. Yes, it is a mixing spirit in my eyes. It's probably going to be one of the first reviews that I've done that I'm going to say that I'm actually not a massive fan of it. Not as much as I'm a massive fan of Conor anyways. So guys, if you enjoyed my whiskey review, please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know. I could be wrong. I most probably am. But I'd love to know your feedback. What do you think? Let's be honest about this whiskey, and let's see you again soon. Let's talk drinks.